Look, I flipped a coin in my brain to see what video to make, Blade or Fred, and I chose Blade because, like, I need something before I have to get into Fred, okay? I've never watched Fred's TV show on Nickelodeon when I was a kid because the only Fred content I ever watched when I was a kid was his web series and the first two movies. I remember the last time I watched the last Fred movie, I don't even remember how old I was, so I chose Blade instead because he's not a bad superhero. I mean, he's a bit confusing. I mean, is he really a superhero? He's not fighting bad guys. He's fighting monsters, you know? He's fighting the supernatural creatures. So, welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about Blade, but we're not talking about the Blade movies, we're talking about the Blade TV show. That's right. I was once scrolling through the web, and there was this article that was talking about forgotten, like, superhero shows, and one of the shows they listed was Blade the series, and I was like, wait, they made Blade into a series? And so curiosity killed the cat, and I decided to go into it. So, Blade, this series, is an American superhero television series that ran from June 28th to September 13th of 2006. I was 2 years old. Didn't know much. Anyways, it was based on the Marvel Comics character and film series taking place after the events of Blade Trinity, aka the most confusing movie ever. If you've watched Nostalgia Critic's video about it, you would know that Blade Trinity had a very confusing ending. Anyways, the show premiered on Spike at June 28th, 2006. Spike is dead, but I remember Spike used to air a lot of cool things like Bar Rescue and Ink Master. Anyways, Sticky Fingers starred in the title role alongside Jill Wagner as Krista Starr, Neil Jackson as Marcus Van Sciver, Jessica Gower as Chase, and Nelson Lee as Shen. The 2-hour pilot was directed by Peter O'Fallon from a script by David S. Goyer, who wrote the scripts for all three of the films, and Jeff Johns. The series received mixed reviews, with critics praising the action series while criticizing the large numbers of cliches, as well as the absence of Wesley Snipes in the title role. If you watch Your Movies Suck, you probably know about the tax thing, tax fraud. Anyways, let's get on to the plot, the production, the continuity, and that's basically it. Oh, and the reception, because I want, and the cancellation, because I don't want to get into the episodes because I don't want to watch the show. I have never ever watched the movies except for watching people talk about it, like watching I think Adam, which is Your Movie Suck, watch it with his friends Gael and Scoot. So let's get into it. Right off the bat, the plot for this Blade TV show seems very different from what we're used to. See, the plot is about this soldier named Krista Starr who returns from military service in Iraq to learn that her twin brother Zach had died in mysterious circumstances. Her investigation reveals Zach had been a familiar. A familiar is a human who serves a vampire in the hopes of eventually being rewarded with eternal life. Krista's search leads her to Marcus Van Sciver, Zach's killer, and to Blade, a vampire hunter. Marcus is a powerful vampire and high-ranking member of the House of Chthon. Smitten with Krista, Marcus turns into a vampire by injecting her with his own blood. Krista is then approached by Blade, who injects her with the serum he uses to control his own vampire instincts, offering her a chance to avenge her brother's death and help him bring down Marcus and the House of Chthon. I don't know what that means. Blade reveals that Zach was helping him with the sting operation, and he and Krista form a reluctant partnership. The remainder of the season follows Krista attempts to maintain her cover in the House of Chthon while struggling with her growing predatory nature, and Marcus's work on the Aurora Project, intended to develop a vaccine to render vampires immune to their traditional weaknesses: sunlight, silver, and garlic. It is revealed that Marcus sabotaged the project and created a virus that is deadly to purebloods, the ruling vampire class, and leaves unscathed the turnbloods, vampires who were once human. With Blade's help, he eventually unleashes his weapon in the series finale. Okay, I need to know what the House of Chthon is. Hold on. It was a movie? The fuck? They turned the show into a movie? Or was the pilot a movie? Oh, this is just the show. All right, I don't know what the heck I was thinking about. I'm sorry. In February 2006, Spike TV gave the green light for a television series based on Marvel Comics superhero Blade as the network's first original scripted series. Spike TV executive Pancho Mansfield said, "We're extremely pleased with the pilot for Blade, which delivers a thrilling action-adventure for its built-in fan base, as well as a character-driven drama filled with heart-pounding tension and suspense. The series will be first of our scripted fare, as we embarked on creating a greater mix of original programming for our viewers." That's like a CW. Oh, wait. Spike TV was trying to be CW. Oh, you guys are funny. Rapper Sticky Fingers, that's actually his name, signed to star as Blade in November 2005, replacing Wesley Snipes, who had portrayed Blade in the movies. Fingers later commented that he was not out to make people forget about the Blade films, but he wanted to put his own spin on the character. "I think it's more my own direction, but I have to incorporate some of what Snipes did. That's what the people are familiar with, and you don't want to change it up drastically. You might want to change the seasoning a little bit, but you want the same meat." What? Adam, I don't care. I'm not getting. I'm not touching that. Spike TV ordered 11 one-hour episodes. 1-hour episodes? Oh my god, bro. Can you imagine having to sit there and watch the show, and you're sitting there and you're like, when is it gonna end? And then it finally ends. In addition to the 2-hour pilot episode, wow. At this point, it's just a movie to be produced by New Line Television. The pilot was shot in 2005, and production of the series began in Vancouver in the spring of 2006. Hey, wait a minute. Isn't Vancouver where they shot the third Blade movie, where they had the McBarge? For those who don't know, in Blade Trinity, they have this hideout, and it's literally the McBarge. The McBarge was like a floating McDonald's, and I think, as I'm recording this, they're working on fixing it, but I don't know. A floating McDonald's. I can't even, bro. Anyways, I need to stay focused, alright? The show premiered with the pilot, as I said, way earlier, on June 28th, 2006, followed by standard 1-hour episodes from July 5th. David Escoyer, who had written the scripts for all 3 of the films and co-created the television series, commented that the open-ended nature of a TV series supported the kind of storytelling that allows viewers to delve more into the inner workings of the vampire world. The series picked up where the last film, Blade Trinity, left off and added several new characters, including Krista, Marcus Van Shiver, Chase, and Shen. Goyer later explained what the series is in a weird way. It's kind of like Wise Guy, I don't even know what the movie is, with vampires, because Jill's character is kind of a double agent working for Blade within the vampire community, and we're treating the vampires sort of like the ultimate crime family. Blade realizes at the beginning of the pilot that he's not making much headway, just sort of hacking and slashing, that he needs to know more about their inner workings. Alright, now we're gonna get into the continuity. I made a timeline so you guys could see, so let's go. Yeah, I really did make a chart. I have no life. Anyways, basically, the TV show takes place after the third Blade movie, and certain events of the film are mentioned in the pilot episodes. At the end of Trinity, Blade had used the Daystar, which was this weapon that specifically targets and kills vampires. In the series, however, the Daystar has not spread fast or as far as predicted, and there are still many vampire houses in operation. In the episode Death Goes On, which is the third episode, Marcus mentions to Krista the existence of 12 vampire houses. The ending of Blade 3, very confusing. I remember watching Nostalgia Critic talk about it, and he made a good point. Was Blade possessed by Dracula, or did he become what did Blade die in Dracula? Like, I recommend watching Nostalgia Critic's video about Blade, because I for the life of me cannot explain it to you. The series had 2.5 million viewers and was the most watched original series premiere in Spike TV history. It was also the #1 show on evening cable TV for men ages 18 to 34 and 18 to 49. Y'all had no life. Anyways, this occurred in a year where most K-pop members were outstanding and the series failed to hold its numbers. The critical response was on the site that we all hate so much, Rotten Tomatoes. The series had an approval rating of 50% based on reviews from 18 critics. The site's consensus was, Blade the series emphasizes gore and techno music over dramatic development, making for a bland action series. On Metacritic, the series has a score of 49% based on reviews from 15 critics, indicating mixed or average reviews. Gillian Flynn of Entertainment Weekly gave it a positive review and wrote, "When gunplay, kickboxing, and throat slitting actually feel like it breaks in the action, you've got a series with brains as well as teeth." The Guardian wrote, "Like most genre shows, it fumbles a lot in setting up the world and character, but stick with it. After a few weeks, it hits its stride, and it is a good antidote to the rather soppy bloodsuckers of True Blood." Hey! I draw the line at roasting True Blood, okay? I draw the line! I draw the fucking line! It's not my fault the series crumbled after 6 and 7. It's not even... what were they supposed to do? They had to stop the show at some point, so they had to fuck it up somehow. It's not their fault. I don't want to hear it! After the season finale of the show, I'm sure that some fans were curious about if there'd be a second season to, pick up after what happened to the finale. But on September 28th, 2006, Jill Wagner announced that there would be no second season. The next day, Spike announced in a press release that the show would not be picked up. As a response to a letter in Wizard magazine, series writer-producer Jeff Johns stated that the network didn't want to cancel it. "I just think Spike TV is still a young network, and the price it was costing to make it, they just weren't able to do it." Also, before, I end the video, quick little, thing here, for home media on iTunes and DVD. Blade, the series, was the second TV show to premiere on iTunes before ever having aired on mainstream television. The short-lived Law & Order spin-off Conviction was the first. Never heard of that. Maybe that'll be the next video. And the pilot episode of the series was released on DVD as Blade, House of Cthulhu. So that's why I got confused when I thought there was another Blade movie. It turns out the pilot was released as, separately, I guess, and then the complete series was released on a 4-disc DVD set, featuring the episodes revamped and alternated with uncensored scenes considered too graphic for TV. And as of, according to Wikipedia, on streaming, the series is available to stream on CW's free digital-only network, CW Seed, which no one knows what that is, and I think it's still on Tubi, but I don't know about that. In August 2022, reports announced that the original Blade trilogy would stream on Hulu, a Disney-owned platform, and withdraw from HBO Max, which is now Max, although the film rights expired in 2012. However, it's currently unconfirmed if the series will also stream on the platform, or when the franchise will join Disney Plus worldwide. We're also getting a Blade reboot, so... I mean, I don't know if the Blade reboot's gonna be a show, because, we already technically have a Blade show. So there's that. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to watch a grown man talk about how much DW from Arthur's a bitch, because I agree with him.
Over the next few days, Grandma Thora takes care of Arthur while DW refuses to let him out of her sight. Oh, God!